Why do Keynesian and monetarist views on inflation conflict? Imagine two different teams trying to explain why prices go up in the economy. One team believes demand is the main driver, while the other points to the money supply. This is the core of why Keynesian and monetarist views on inflation clash. Keynesians see inflation as a demand pull issue. They think inflation happens when people, businesses, and governments buy more goods and services than what is available. When demand outpaces supply, prices rise. For example, if consumers start spending more during a boom, prices tend to go up. Keynesians believe that during recessions, just increasing the money supply might not work well because people might hoard cash instead of spending it. They argue that government spending and policies to boost demand are better tools to fight unemployment and stimulate growth, even if it risks some inflation. On the other hand, monetarists focus on the role of the money supply. They argue that inflation is caused by too much money circulating in the economy. When central banks create more money than the economy needs, it leads to higher prices. Monetarists believe that the velocity of money, or how fast money moves around, is stable over time. So, if the money supply grows too quickly, prices will rise proportionally. They think controlling the growth of the money supply is the best way to keep inflation in check. For them, excessive government spending can lead to inflation without improving real economic output. The main conflict comes from their different views on what causes inflation. Keynesians see demand and economic activity as the main factors, while monetarists see the money supply as the key. They also disagree on how stable the velocity of money is. Keynesians believe it can change unpredictably, making monetary policy less effective. Monetarists see it as stable, so controlling the money supply can reliably control inflation. Their policy ideas reflected these beliefs. Keynesians support using government spending and tax policies to manage demand and reduce unemployment, even if it risks some inflation. Monetarists prefer strict control of the money supply and caution against large fiscal deficits that could fuel inflation. Understanding these differences helps explain how governments and central banks respond to inflation. If you believe demand drives inflation, you might favor fiscal policies. If you think money supply is the main cause, controlling the money supply becomes the priority. In short, the clash between these views is rooted in their different ideas about what causes inflation, how stable the money velocity is, and the best way to keep prices stable while supporting economic growth.